Hey everybody, so I just spent the last 30 super productive minutes of my life looking at the most recent New Yorker comic strip, and I'm going to review these comics for you now, and I hope you enjoy. The first one we got is he wasn't scary until he started sharing his conspiracy theories. So it's like you'd think the Scarecrow would be scary all the time to crows. That's the point of it, but that didn't get to the crows. What got to the crows was that the scarecrows into QAnon, scarecrows into anti-vax. That's what's really scary. I'm going to give that one a 5 out of 10 because I think it's a good baseline for what we ought to expect from a New Yorker comic, but it's not an exemplary example of a New Yorker comic. It doesn't impress me. It doesn't make me laugh. That's a 5 out of 10. Welcome back to Is It a Destruction of Democracy or Is It Cake? So what we got here is a reference to something that was topical like 2 years ago. Is it cake stuff? You know, nobody's talking about whether or not stuff's cake anymore. But what they're doing to make it a little bit more interesting is tying that 2-year-old reference into, talk about Donald Trump and America and stuff. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 because I think that I can see where they're coming from, and I also think that democracy isn't in such a great spot right now. So fundamentally, I agree with the comic. So because I agree with it, I say good. You know what I mean? Oh no, I don't eat s'mores, says this fuck. I just correct people when they're making them wrong. I don't think I get this one, but that I like that about it. You know, it's not so readable. It's not so immediately clockable as what it's going for. It just seems like it's a comic about an annoying guy. And I like that. So I'm going to give that one a 7 out of 10. On second thought, the run up to the election is thrilling enough. I was going to go skydiving, but Donald Trump could win. All right, so that's a clear 8 out of 10 because it's so relatable. Okay, so this one is a banger. Like, this one's so cute. The many expressions of Penny. Glee, wistful, pathos, excited. That is so true about what having doggies is like and what it's like to have a doggie. And I mean that earnestly. Like, I like the comic because it's so true. I'm going to give that one a 9 out of 10. See how Gregor Samsa awoke one morning from uneasy dreams? Very demure, very mindful. So the people who draw the comics, they were on TikTok just like me, and so they saw people going very demure, very mindful, and they thought to themselves, maybe I could turn that into something pretty special. And while I don't think that the output is all that interesting, like I think that metamorphosis stuff is kind of played out, and I think that the very demure, very mindful thing, most people don't even give a fuck about that meme. Like, I think it was dead on arrival, kind of. I don't think it had much, like, lasting mimetic power. So I'm actually going to give that one a 4 out of 10. It didn't wow me like some of these others, like the many expressions of Penny one did. I'll tell you that much. Finally, here's the funny video I mentioned 30 minutes ago that the conversation has long since moved on from. So real, and I really like the expression on her face. For some reason, I've noticed that it's really not like young people who do this. It's almost exclusively in my life, older people who really want to show you videos and who are like, this video was awesome. Look at that shit. Look at that video. So I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10 because I think that while it's not exceptional, I do find it kind of funny. See you later, alligator. He doesn't remember my name. I love that one. 9 out of 10. I literally, when I first saw that comic, I was literally laughing like hell. It's so funny. It's like a really good comic in my opinion. Like I would be proud to have written that. So it's at the Olympics, but she's using a baguette because she's in France. Is that actually the 100% of the joke, that because they're in Paris, they're using a baguette instead of a torch at the Olympics? Because I actually appreciate the elegance and simplicity of that. And I think I have to give it a 7 out of 10. I'd invite you back, but my planet's a mess. This aliens planet isn't doing so great. I don't like the idea that like the aliens are definitely doing so good and we're definitely doing so bad. You know what I mean? Like if aliens are out there and if they want to talk to humans, they could probably relate to us and would probably enjoy even venting about whatever bullshit their planet's going through. You think aliens are going to be so perfect all the time? So for that reason, I don't agree with the comic. And when I don't agree with a comic, I dock it 2 points. So it's actually a 3 out of 10 because I would want the alien to come back with me to my planet because I think that he would relate to the turmoil of humanity. And I think he'd be very interested in our history. I'm half full, but you'll just have to take my word for it. So as far as I can tell, the joke here is that Stanley cups are opaque, which is that I that's true. So 6 out of 10. Honestly, I don't mind New Yorker comics. Like when I was going through these pictures, I was smiling and looking at them with a jaunt in my step. You know, I was giving them little laughs when they came up. I really like the dog one. I was impressed by the New Yorker comics. And as a publication, I'm going to give them a 6 out of 10, which is good for newspaper and political comics. So congratulations.